let's judge these banned cards and see if they're worthy of being pulled off the list or not. Hey everyone, and welcome back to an ongoing series where we take a look at Yu-Gi-Oh's TCG ban list and see whether or not any of the cards can come off of it. So today we're going to take a look at the comments from the last video and one from a couple weeks ago. So Tenebrae mentioned the animation chronicles for this year, and that Performage Plush Fire is getting errata. And yeah, I did take a look at the card. So originally Performage Plush Fire did not have a hard once per turn for its effects. Now it will, so it's very likely that it's going to be taken off the ban list as soon as the TCG gets Plush Fire, the errata version. So that's actually quite something to look forward to. So for the comments from last week, let's take a look. Once again, from Tenebrae 17. First, Last Will. Yeah, it's a big mess. It's the same, but the vertex is clearer. Yeah. The card is completely busted regardless, and well, yeah, some of the, like, really old school cards are, like, really too good for nowadays, and people can just work around them, work around any kind of like minor restrictions. So yeah. As far as last turn, if I'm not mistaken, the speed in which the game is being played at nowadays wouldn't really facilitate last turn, now that I think about it. I mean, the game itself, it depends on what format it is. Well, not really format, but what set is out and what's being played will determine how long the duels last. So, yeah. And, yeah, that was one of the things I remember, which was Jowgen. Now I'm not sure exactly what the other monsters that prevented special summonings were. So, yeah. Still, the card itself, it would have to be retooled from the ground up, and I highly doubt anybody would care to run it. Okay, so Castira, Arise Heart, better, Zodiac, Trident, yeah. Banishing face-down monsters at spell speed 2 and destroying the spell speed is better than using the spell speed 2. It gives itself more material. Yeah, kind of like the Purely, with giving itself more material each turn. Where you can banish Infinitrack, Goliath. Oh. And then, alright. Yeah. Pretty much. Well, if there's any, like, major change that Arise Heart can have to come back, yeah, I don't know. Alright, so Laval Chain, as it stands now, is basically a worse version of Beatrix by virtue of not being a quick effect. Yeah. It's highly unlikely to survive long enough to get to dumps. I guess maybe that could be another change it could get, is quick effect, but have it be archetype exclusive still. Can't do anything degenerate like the transaction rollback and Ghost Meets Girl. Stacking effect is more or less irrelevant. Yeah. Unless it was a what was it? I forgot the archetype. It was the ghost one. Ghost Trick. That's what I'm thinking of. Now, if it was a Ghost Trick card, then yeah, it would be relevant to have the stacking. But since it's not, yeah, I can see why even with the archetype exclusive, it wouldn't really do much. So, yeah. Still, I mean, it being able to do what it did under generic format just screamed archetype exclusive on top of it. So, yeah. And with that, let's go ahead and jump into today's cards. And today, we will take a look at the first one, which is Level Eater. So, Level Eater is a level 1 Dark Insect effect monster. And its effect is, if this card is in your graveyard, you can target one level 5 or higher monster you control, reduce its level by 1, and if you do, special summon this card. This face-up card on the field cannot be attributed except for a tribute summon. Oh, okay. Okay. So, the reason why Level Eater was banned was due to it lacking a once per turn effect. And that was the major drawback against playing this, with playing against this card. So, yeah. Now, it does have some future proofing, as you can't use it for extra deck monsters, as stated in the last line of text. So, for this card to come back, the major change that Level Eater can get to come back is once per turn, would change the card to, if this card is in your graveyard, you can target one level 5 or higher monster you control, reduce its level by 1, and if you do, special summon this card. This effect can only be activated once per turn. You know, actually, scratch that. This effect can only be played once per duel. That seems a little bit more balanced than once per turn. Or either one would do, but it has to have a once per X for it to be a little bit more balanced. Sure, yes, it does not have inherent protection, but it doesn't really matter unless you're going into, like, say, Called by the Grave. So, yeah, I think that would be the only thing that could bring this back from the banned list, is either once per turn or once per duel. So, yes. And with that, let's go into the next one, which is Link Ross. So, Link Ross is a light Cyberse Link effect monster with the requirement of one Link 2 or higher Link monster. And its effect is, if this card is Link summoned, you can activate this effect. Special summon a number of Link tokens, Cyberse Light, level 1, 0 attack, 0 defense, up to the Link rating of the monster used for this card's Link summon. Also, you cannot use Link tokens as Link material for the rest of this turn. You can only use this effect of Link Ross once per turn. Okay, so here's the thing. Just by its effect alone, you can get a Link monster of 6 out on the field, and then tribute that to tribute. You can link that off to bring out Link Ross, and with that, you would get 6 Link tokens. And yes, there is a level Link 6 monster. It's called Arrival Cyberse at Ignister. So yeah. But But yeah, that is the major. I want to say the major reason why Link Ross is banned. Let's take a hot second, but by the effect alone, that's what it feels like. Why is banned? Yeah, it was a token generator. So, it would have for it to come back. It would have to have a set number of Link tokens that it can bring out. It can't just go, well, if you bring out Link 4 monster and then bring in Cybers, oh wait, not Cybers, bring in Link Ross, you can get 4 Link tokens. For this, it would have to be a set number. Just for the hell of it, let's go with, if this card is Link summoned, you can activate this effect. Special summon 2 Link tokens. Cybers, Light, level 1, 0, 0. Also, you cannot use Link tokens as Link material for the rest of the turn. I mean, that would be like the best thing you could think of. And if everything be a hard once per turn. So, that would be the best thing I can think of for Link Ross to balance out the card. So yeah. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else you can do to Link Ross to bring it back. So yeah. And with that, let's jump into card number 3. And card number 3 is Magical Scientist. So, Magical Scientist is a level 1 Dark Spellcaster effect monster. And his effect is pay 1,000 life points to special summon 1 level 6 or lower fusion monster from your fusion deck in face-up attack or defense position. That fusion monster cannot attack your opponent's life points directly and is returned to your fusion deck at the end of the turn. Now, you don't really have to look up why this was banned. The reason this was banned is because players would use this as an FTK enabler with Catapult Turtle. They would bring forth high attack level 6 or lower monsters, and they would just jettison them off into the opponent's life points. And okay, that's exactly what it was. So yeah. So people would play Catapult Turtle, Magical Scientist, and just shove all the 6 or lower fusion monsters into their extra deck, and that's how they would win on the first turn. So, how could Magical Scientist come back? Honestly, there would have to be some drawbacks, some major drawback. Now, first and foremost, let's make sure on this. I want to make sure on one card is the card that I'm thinking of. I don't think Catapult Turtle's on the banned list. I think it's... No, it's not. Okay, so the major thing that would have to happen with this is that its effect can only be once per turn. Beyond that, yeah, its effect could only be once per turn. Because otherwise, people would run Catapult Turtle again. Though, just going to throw this out, the speed of the game would also say no, it wouldn't be played regardless. The next thing, I don't know. Other than putting it at once per turn, I'm not oh, once per turn and negate the monster's effects that get brought out of the extra deck. Beyond that, I'm not sure if there's any hard fixes that this card can receive to get it off the list at all. So, yeah. Anyways, with that, let's take a look at the last card for today. And that card is Masterpiece, the True Draco Slaying King. This card is a level 8 light worm effect monster. And its effect is, to tribute summon this card face up, you contribute continuous spells, trap cards you control, as well as monsters unaffected by the effects of cards with the same name, the same card type, monster spell, and or trap as the original card type of the cards tributed for its tribute summon. Once per turn, during either player's turn, if you control this tribute summon monster, you can banish one continuous spell trap from your graveyard, then target one other card on the field, destroy it. Okay. Yeah, so first and foremost, it gains inherent protection depending on what you tribute. Joy. And on top of that, it can pop a card by banishing a card from your graveyard. But it has no once per turn. Yay! Okay, so if this card were to come back, first and foremost, the last part has to have a hard once per turn. The effect of it being unaffected by cards with the same card type, I want to say would have to be just that turn. Oh wait, it does. Once per turn during either. I think this wasn't this their early idea of quick effect? Or am I thinking too much into that? Either way, I'm not sure. Apparently, according to what I'm reading right now, it's not that good anymore. But, like, would this be eligible? Some of it makes it seem like it'd be eligible, but you have to build your deck around it, like, add in magic and trap cards, as some decks are more aren't reliant on magic cards, like the super heavy deck, if that still gets played every so often. Honestly, I don't know. Other than, like, what I just mentioned, maybe, but it would have to be at a hard one per deck at most. So, who knows? Yeah. And with that, I think that's going to do it for me today. But anyways, until next time, everyone, if you have any suggestions on how any of these cards could be problem solved, leave your comments in the comments section below. But until then, goodbye.